my dear Stitchy friends. Welcome back to the Stitch Corner of Kindred StitchFolk here on the YouTubes. I am so grateful to be back with you, and thank you if you're a returning visitor. And welcome to anyone new who is joining us. I am so grateful for all of you. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and subscribe so you can't miss another episode. And guess what? We've got a lot of exciting things coming up in the next couple of weeks. I am so excited. My plans are in fruition. But today's episode is a fun one for me. I can't wait. I'm going to be showing you my kits of holiday kits, and I've got some goodies I bought that are not, some of it's exciting. I've got a finish that you haven't even seen me work on. I've got new starts, I've got holiday plans. We're going to go over a few of the magazines for the Christmas time that I have just to kind of glance at. And I've got some exciting giveaways. At least I think it's exciting because it's my first giveaways here on Flosstube. So I've got three. I know. It is a chilly day. Oh, wait, who am I? So I'm Emily. This is my home. Welcome. And behind me, we've got the fire going because it is a really cold day. It's not as cold as it's going to be, but it's in the 30s. It's definitely been staying in the 30s for the past couple of days, and it looks like it's not going to change. And I am still getting over my illness, so I've got some Kleenexes, and you will have to pardon my sniffles. There shouldn't be any coughing this week. I coughed yesterday, but I haven't coughed today, so I say that and then I jinx myself. Do I have any wood around me? Yes, I do. I have. Okay, no coughing. There we go. Look at this beautiful welcome home sign that I found at Goodwill. It's going to go above my door on the outside, and I want to make it into a pattern because look at that house, and there's some pigs. Is that the pigs? Yeah. And there's some sheep somewhere, and there's some cows. I just love it so much. I just love this. This, if anybody's wondering, this is Emily's style. Flowers, farms, animals. I want my home to feel like rustic, but not in the artificial way. I just want it to be rustic. I'm a Flosstuber, so I noticed that my last episode got a few more views, so thank you guys who came over and watched it. I am so grateful to you. Oscar wants to say hi, so here's little Oscar. Teddy's over there curled up on the couch, so he'll stay over there. His blindness makes him nervous about jumping down from the couch, so he'll usually only jump down from the couch if he's super excited, like when Daddy comes home. So, all right, let's get into things. Okay, so let's start with my very exciting start/restart/finish held in this cheapo bag. So you may remember last week I said that I had gotten these patterns from Sobe Stitchery on Etsy with Louisa May Alcott quotes, and that I was my plans were to start those. Well, I did. So the first one that obviously drew me so much, I started it on this Lugana that I had from, is it Zweigart? Where did my sticker go? I just had it. Sticker. Zweigart Lugana 20 count in Antique Rose. And I was working on it, but I was actually struggling. Oh, wait, that's upside down. I was actually struggling with it quite a lot because is this the way the Lugana is? Because the weave is such that my stitches kept slipping over to the other side of the cross or the square, and I had to be very careful about how I was pulling my threads, and it was making me so not frustrated. I wouldn't say I was frustrated. I would say I was nervous and a little sad because some of the times I just couldn't catch things and they just weren't. But it's gorgeous the way it looks. I'll probably finish this still because I want to. But the thing about this one is I wanted this piece now. So I went back into my stash and I looked for something I could use, and I came across some 18 count, oops, that's not it. Well, this is the blank one. 18 count Ada that I had got off of Amazon that I hand dyed myself. There you go. And it's got a kind of pinky tone to it, but I only used brown. So I decided that that would make a beautiful piece, especially since I'm not going to use it for what I intended it for. I got out this piece that I had used and I cut it up. It was a very big piece, so there's a lot. I've got like 6 feet of this in this color, and so I cut off a piece, and I think I cut through an X, no, a square, and not on the line because it started fraying immediately. But and I just couldn't bear the thought of using painter's tape on my stitching. So I got out my fabric glue that I had just gotten from the Missouri Star Quilt Company or something like that. And I glued back the edges. Sorry, the light is blowing things out. I glued back down the edges and it worked perfectly. Like, I didn't have to use very much glue, and this glue dissolves in water, so it's not going to stay, and it just worked. Like, so there's a tip for you. Fabric glue works. But this is my finished piece. So I used 2/1, and actually, there's a mistake in this too. So this anchor here, so I used blue and gold in DMC. I was going to use Weeks Dye Works, and I am using Weeks Dye Works on my old one. But to be honest with you, I don't like Weeks Dye Works. I love the color, but the feel of it is like straw, and it's so rough on my hands. And my hands, living in Alaska, my hands are already dry as it is. And that Weeks Dye Works just does a number on me. So I just couldn't handle it. So I went into my stash, and I found DMC 976 for the gold and DMC 3750 for the blue. So when you put them together, it's so pretty, right? And so that's what I ended up using on this project. And the mistake is that this gold anchor here, I had always intended to make it gold, because I want one element at minimum in each piece to be the opposite color of the other piece. So this anchor is actually supposed to be right here. And I was stitching this really late at night. I've had really horrible insomnia, and I was stitching this late at night because I just was like, oh, I'll just finish my piece. And I didn't realize until the next morning what I had done. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to take that out because I actually kind of like it where it's at. I just need another emblem. So I went ahead and designed this guy here, which is a helm, and there's a blue anchor in the middle. So that emblem really ties everything back in together. Well, I'm not upset by my mistake at all. I love this piece. I am so excited. I'm so impressed with myself. I actually really enjoyed stitching the letters in this. I think it's because I really connect with this quote, and I can't wait to start the other one. I'm going to start the other one. Everything was so nice and easy to count. I don't know what's going on, but all of a sudden, for the most part, I'm able to count a lot better in the last week than I have, I feel like, ever in my stitching career. So quite pleased with that. Quite pleased. What was I going to say? And I need to stop saying Oh, that was what I was going to say. So this measures about 9.5 by 4 up in inches. So I went on Amazon to see what I could find, and I found these two perfect rustic looking frames that are in a 2-pack, and so I got both of them, and they're 5 by 10. So perfect for margins and everything. I'm like, wow, this piece really wanted to be done by me, apparently. So I'm going to start the other quote, and it's going to be with these two as the main, and then one element at least will have the blue. So you will be in no doubt that these are a pair. So I am quite happy with mine. So that is my finish. It's not a full finish, but it is a finish. And it's close to being all the way done. We're just waiting for Amazon, you know? Okay. Let's talk about my knitting. So, I have worked on my socks. Not a terrible amount, but a good amount. That looks so pretty right there. Oh my goodness, look at those colors. Oh yeah. But I got the leg done. My husband and I had a date night for the first time in, I think, maybe a year. This last week, for our anniversary, I bought us tickets. Rick Steves, the travel writer and TV host on like PBS and stuff, Europe Through the Back Door is what he's most known for. So if you've heard of that, and I think he was one of the first people who started the whole Europe on a dime thing. Like, he is a budget traveler. So with the whole changing of the grants and things for public radio and PBS, they need to do some fundraising. So Rick Steves is currently on a tour that he has completely donated to the public radio stations and PBS, so the public broadcasting stations, so that everything he earns from ticket sales and well, probably not the sale of his books and stuff, but at minimum the ticket sales goes to refund the areas that he is lecturing in. So everything they earned from him being here in Anchorage, all of that money stays in the Anchorage pot. So my husband and I got to go see Rick Steves, and it was so amazing. I mean, that man and his stories and his advice, I love Rick Steves. He is such a gentle soul. I just absolutely love him. But you can also tell that I think he's had a lot of people like fan guy over him, because you can tell he's a little bit nervous that people are going to mob him. And honestly speaking, here in Alaska, that could honestly be a real thing. It was sold out. People like, so over 1,900 tickets, I think it was. I think. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know. Sold out. And we just had a great time. So I got 99% of the leg complete. I think I was about right here. And I did all of that during the date night lecture. We did have to leave early because he started late, so it was finishing late. But we needed to just get Jimmy from my sister's house and get him down to bed, because by the time we got home it was 9:30, and for us that's late. But we had to leave early. But Rick Steves was going to be so generous. He was like, I'm gonna stand down in the foyer, and you guys can all mob me, and I'll be in the middle, and I won't be shaking hands, and I won't be giving hugs, but I'll give you all the signatures you want. Shove whatever you want in my face, and I'll sign it. And I was so hoping he was going to do that, because I brought my DVD set of Rick Steves Europe, and I really wanted him to sign it. But we had to leave, so I didn't get it signed. But that's okay. As I spoke about last week, this is being housed in my Charming You Halloween bag. I did the foundation row for the heel, and I'm about to do the Eye of Partridge heel. I love that heel, and I think it's going to look so gorgeous with that variegated yarn. All right, so what do we want to talk about next? Really, all I have left to talk about is new starts. Okay, well, new starts then. Okay, my friends. So, I have started. Okay, a little background, really, really fast. You know me, I talk a lot. Okay, I was. Golly Moses, I've lost her name. Brenda and Dot Dot creates her YouTube channel. I was watching her channel last week, and she said, "Hey, I just started a new Discord server, and here's the QR code if you want to join." And I thought to myself, "Oh, I've heard about Discord. I have lots of clients who are on Discord, even if they're not gamers, because they find groups, I guess, to talk to people about." So I was like, "I'm gonna give this a try." So I took it. I used the QR code. I had to create an account. I got in, and I immediately was thrown into a video chat with a bunch of other ladies who I absolutely love. Oh my gosh, I have found my people. Oh my gosh. But I was so surprised because I was in my pajamas. It was like 6 in the morning our time, and I just didn't think well, first off, I didn't think I would be thrown into a video chat immediately upon joining the group. And second off, no, there's no second off. But anyway, I met some amazing women this week. I have, like, any moment that I have extra, I am joining the Discord video chat on there and just really having a good time. So women come on there, and some of them are doing chores, some of us are stitching, some of us are, doing, some people were knitting. I think one lady at one point was quilting. But there is a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of really good discussions. I had a very good discussion with a couple of the ladies there about patriotic stitching, because I really struggle with patriotic stitching. But after this conversation, I feel like I'm not struggling so much, and I'm really excited. So I've actually put in some orders for some patriotic stitches. And the reason why this came up is because they got in that group, there's at least 4 stitch alongs going on right now. And one of them is the 13 for 2050 anniversary. So if that doesn't make sense to you, just remember the first thing that there was 13 colonies, right? So 13 stitched pieces for our 250th anniversary. That's the goal. And all these people were doing it. I've seen a lot of people doing it, and there were some ladies in that particular day who were stitching on some of their stitch along pieces for that, their patriotic pieces. And so I just asked, like, what's the draw? Why do you guys enjoy stitching on this so much? And I think at first I might have offended them. Maybe I didn't word it very well. I probably put my foot in my mouth and said something like, "I don't like stitching, patriotic stitching, and I don't like it right now because I don't like what's happening in our country." Politics aside, I don't like what's happening in our country. The violence alone. And so it's hard for me to engender that feeling of pride for my country right now. And the women were talking about, it's not so much pride as in connection with our country. So I started thinking about that as they were talking to me, and all of a sudden it hit me, like, my ancestors came over in the 1600s. Technically, so my sister Amy and I were invited in the last 2 months, I think it was, to join the Daughters of the Revolution or something like that? Because, and the rules of the Daughters of the Revolution is that your people need to have been here before the Revolutionary War. So, our ancestry, we know, right? The Hatches and actually I think somebody on my dad's side too. We've been here since the 1600s. And I got to thinking about that, and I'm like, I could stitch these pieces not because of being proud of my country, but because of my heritage in this land. Because when I think about it, so our country is 250 years old, but my people have been here in this land for over 400 years. 400 years of history here. And I think that deserves recognition, and that deserves attention and honor and respect. And so when I started thinking about it that way, I thought to myself, yeah, I need to do some patriotic stitching. Okay, so we've got pieces coming for that. But that was not what I was going to talk about. One of the things that I signed up for in this Discord group is the smalls exchange. Now, I have never done a smalls exchange. I've never done an exchange at all of any sort, but I immediately signed up for this. And the theme is winter. So HMP Designs on Etsy is one of my favorite stitch shops. They're from the Ukraine. If you've seen in the past, my Lavender Fields stitch was designed by him. And so, and he always has such great prices. Like, I'm not being a jerk when I say it. He undervalues himself, that's for sure. But I went onto HMP's place there, and I found this scene. And I feel like it lends itself to being holiday-esque, but, well, obviously, because there's Santa in a sleigh, but also just peaceful and wintry. And so the piece has to be under 5 inches, 5 inches or smaller. And so I kitted it up. I'm so proud of myself. This is my second start in a row that I have completely kitted up from scratch. What is going on with me? Now, to tell you the truth, the one thing I do not enjoy doing, kitting up, is the rewinding of the floss. But I have found that the perfect length for me is from my thumb to the bottom of my elbow. That is my perfect length of floss. And so here's all the colors, the DMC colors for this piece. And again, I have used some of my playing cards, this time from a deck from Alaska. And by the way, just listen to it. Well, it sounded better before I put holes in it. But this is a good set of playing cards. Like, this is good and sturdy and will not get all gross quickly like the last set that I showed you. But still, I have so many decks of cards. Somebody needed to sacrifice themselves. So I went ahead and I now have my official hole punch, so I don't have to jerry rig it. So where's my cork board again? So I have made the holes nice and big, and then I got the smaller hole at the top, and then I have the DMC. This time I put the DMC sticker on the back facing of the card because it just made sense, and I didn't want to ruin my Aurora license plate any more than I had to. So I have this all kitted up, and then I went into my fabric stash again, and I searched for what I thought would be appropriate, and this is what I found. Zweigart Ada, 20 count, vintage country mocha. And so, oh my gosh, that light. Oh, geez, that's driving me crazy. I got out my light because I've been struggling so much with light in my house since fall. I give up. Anyway, so this is on 20 count. So that means I get to do 1 floss over 1. That is right. Oh! And it's this beautiful, well, everybody knows vintage country mocha, right? It's a little bit stiff and crackly. Well, that's not a good way to put it. It's just stiff. But Ada does soften up the more you handle it, and so I just always remember that. But this is what I finished just last night. I have completed the entire border of green. That's it, just the green. I still need to come in and put in the lanterns, the holly berries. And then I had to order from 123 Stitch the other green that I need for the grass because we just don't have it here in Anchorage. And I kind of made a very big purchase, as I might have mentioned last week anyway. So I made a big purchase there for Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. Yeah, I'm getting on that train. I really am. So, but anyway, it is so beautiful. I just love this so much. And I had such a relaxing time stitching on this. And I've already made a mistake. I don't know if you can see it, but one of my leaves is one row short. Do I care? Am I going to rip it out? No. It's a design feature. Leaves aren't perfectly symmetrical in nature. Why should they be in my stitching? So I can't wait to get back to this. I have been longing to stitch on it all day today, but I've been in meetings and running around to appointments, and now Jimmy's finally asleep, and my work is 99% done. I just have a few more things to do, and then I can get back to this. And this is just being housed in one of my nondescript little bags that I have. Nothing special. All right, and lastly, I started my Satsuma Street. So remember me just talking about how I loved the women that I met on the Discord. One of the reasons why I loved them so much, is Milka. Milka is she's a lady. She's from Costa Rica, so Costa Rica is the United States still, right? It's a province, but she's moved to the mainland. Let's put it that way. And if you have not gone over and seen her YouTube channel, I highly suggest you do. Milka is a genius and one of the kindest souls and genuinely excited souls I have ever met. Oh my gosh. Oh. But she's also not one to put herself forward like I am, right? So I'm very intentional about talking to Milka when she's in the room, and everything I ask of her. Oh my gosh, guys, I've been asking so many questions. But everything I ask, she's just so willing to talk about and everything. And one of the things I asked was I wanted to stitch the Satsuma Street Mystery Sal on some it's upside down, Lugana Britain Laurel Green 28 count. And so I asked her, well, I asked the whole group, but she was the one who really answered. Like, I'm assuming I do 2 over 2. Is that right? And they were like, yes. So essentially you're working on 14 count. And I was like, okay, I knew that in my head. But the thing that I was really struggling with is when you put your needle in to the hole, does that count as the first 2 of the 2 over 2? Does that make sense? Like 2 holes. And so Milka made me a graph that I saved to my phone. Let's go see. So many pictures this weekend. Okay, where did I save that picture? Ah, here it is. So this is what she said. Okay, hold on, let me turn my, okay. This is what she said you're doing. So you start in one hole, you skip one hole, and you go into the next. So here's, foundation is 0, 1, 2. That's where you put it in. And the same going up. And I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. Great, thank you. So I finally, while I was in there, got going on my Satsuma Street. And so this is what I have so far. Nothing much. And actually, that's upside down. It's actually supposed to be this way. Whoops. This is just one of the foundation outline areas of the gazebo of Clue 1. And I was going along and I was doing really good until I got to this second row, right above the first one, of 2 over 2. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what was going on with my eyes, but I've messed up a couple times in there. I can see it. I was just really struggling to count the 2 over 2 part. And I'll take a close-up picture of it so that you guys can see, and I'll put it in right here. But it's really honestly that the row below, you're sharing obviously the hole with the row above, with the next row that I'm working on. But it looks funny to me when I'm putting my needle in, and I keep putting my needle in wrong. And I'm going to persevere because I need to learn this technique, because I really would like to, by the end of 2026, I would like to be working on linen, but I'm not there yet. And so, but I'm really excited, and I have more confidence. So let's get this going. And just as a reminder, here are all 28 colors of the mystery along. Oh, here's the week's dye works that I hate. I don't know why it was sitting there, but oh, it's like straw. Oh, I'm gonna keep them because I might need them. Otherwise, I would give them away. Anyway. There are a lot of Christmas sales going on right now, or winter sales going on right now. Charlie Feather in the UK, her latest episode this week, she went over a couple of the mystery sales that are going on right now, and so I think she did, didn't she? Yeah. I was watching that while I was listening to her while I was waiting for Jimmy and his speech therapy appointment, while I was also working on my computer for work. So I remember her saying something about that. Okay. So that's all my new starts, my finishes. And my knitting. I only put on a tiny bit in current whips into my Christmas Santa Bear stamped cross stitch. I think I put in this much of the black right there. That's all. Because I've been going on everything else, which actually, when I look at it, doesn't feel like a lot. But last week was crazy busy. Why do everybody says that? And then you sit there and wonder on the other end, what are you busy with? What do you have to be busy with? So I'll just quickly name some of the things that are on my daily plate. I've got work, and as a reminder, I am the business manager for 3 companies, as well as a clinical counselor for those same companies. I am on the board of a nonprofit. I am a mom of a 3-year-old. I am healing from my surgery. I've got doctor's appointments up the wazoo because of my health. I have Jimmy goes to preschool, and so I got to walk him up to the bus stop, and then remember to go get him at 10:45 from the bus stop again. That's actually the hard one. I finally have set a reminder in my phone. I've got one blind dog that needs constant attention, and the other dog is just a mama's boy, and so he always needs it. I've got housework. I've got extended family needs, and I've got my own needs as far as like creative time, and there's just daily chores all the time, and I live in a teeny tiny house, for heaven's sakes, and it's always cleaning. And I know I'm missing things. I mean, we had date night. That cut into my crafting time significantly. I'm just going to say, but my man is worth it. You better believe it. So yeah. So that's all I got done this week. I spent a lot of time this week on some organization of my patterns, as well as bringing out all of my Christmas kits to show you guys. And then I made some future plans, and I have a very special episode coming out next week that I am prepping for. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. But for me, it's a very special episode, so I hope you like it. But as far as future plans go, I'm going to cast this on today in in the Creates Discord channel. They're doing a square a day, and I don't know how this happened, but I just so happened to have the exact piece that about half of them are working on as a kit. What? And I didn't even realize it until last night, because I wasn't going to join into this stitch along. But now that I know that I have the kit, it's going to be able to count for my 13 in 2026, 13 for the anniversary. I am casting it on today, and that is the Civil War blocks. And I'll just insert a picture here of it because the glare and everything. But I was drawn to this a while back. This is by Servant Heart Designs. It's designed by Linda Mayers. I ordered this, I think, back in the spring. And I just liked it. I think mainly I love everything about the Civil War. Not the reason for the Civil War and not all the death and everything, but, you know. And I love quilt blocks. So when I saw this on her website, I ordered this kit. And it came with all these beautiful flosses. Floss. On this really long bobbin in here. Look at these colors, like that pink right there. Oh my gosh, I love these colors. The browns next to the blues. Oh. So I'm actually going to start that today. I haven't even told them on the Discord group that I'm going to start. So I am going to be stitching this on, and the kit comes with it. It looks like 14 count Ada. That's what it looks like to me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's going to be a new start. But in organizing my patterns, you know me, I love a good find, and I love nostalgia. So when I was at Goodwill about a month ago, I found this. Now, for those of you from the 80s and 90s, you might remember these. My aunt made lots of these. So at my parents' house, we still have a whole collection of these photo albums that my aunt made for my mom. And actually, I'm thinking about asking my aunt if she would mind making me one. But I found this for $1.99 at my Goodwill. By the way, I have looked online for these vintage pieces. They are selling from anywhere from $25 to like $70, $90. And so I did order one for Thanksgiving from an Etsy seller that I thought was reasonably priced. But that's the only other one I'm getting. But in here, instead of pictures, it is, I've got some blanks up here. I am housing my pattern collection, my paper pattern collection. And so far I have them organized by theme, houses. I've got some samplers in here. I've got farms. I've got some of my vintage patterns in here. But I've got them all in these sleeves. I've got an animal cracker. I've got 2 animal crackers. And then at the very back, oh, and I've got some temperature charts. And at the very back, I have got a couple free pieces that I got when I've purchased from other people, but I've also got either the pattern or the packaging from a couple, not all, of the pieces that I have finished this year. So I've got 3 of the patterns in there that I have been FFO'd. And I love this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so be creative. If you've got some of these lying around, I highly recommend using that. Sorry, my phone is... Who's calling? Oh no, I don't need to answer that. Okay. So, before I go into... Do I want to do the giveaway first or the kits first? I actually think I want to do the kits first. But let me pause here, reorient myself, take a drink, and see what I want to do. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So, let's talk about these kits. Okay, now I've got some kits that are new. I've got some kits that are vintage or garage sale. I've got some kits that are cross stitch, some kits that are wool applique, a few kits that are going to be on plastic canvas. So I've got a good variety here. So let's just start from the front here, in no particular order. Oh, I'm just going to show you first. I pulled out my patterns that are Christmas themed or holiday themed. So I've got here by the Prairie School by the Chimney. This was the 2008 design. Wah! There we go. I've got this by Samplers and also by the Prairie Schooler. I've got Winter's Hunt. No, Winter Woods. I'll just keep going with Prairie Schooler. And then I've got, I think I've showed this on here before that I got these. The Santa's 12 Days of Christmas. I've got 1 through 4, and I've got 5 through 8. So I am missing the last set. I couldn't find it yet. Okay, and we can't put that there because those are the giveaways. And the last one that I have that's a paper pattern is Noel. By Samplers and Primitives. This is the Noel Ornament Sampler. I don't know if this is a new design or what. I got it sometime earlier this year. But I was watching another YouTuber who was saying, oh, I just got this. This just came out. And I was like, did it just come out? How did I get it then? Because I did not buy this recently. I actually had forgotten about it. But I think this is so beautiful. I want to stitch that for Christmas too. Okay, so on to true kits. So let's start with the smallest kits, which of course is going to be the Mill Hill kits. Okay, I've just got 2 of those. I've got Winter Holiday. And I've got Mill Hill Button and Beads Christmas Village. It's just a Victorian house. So this one has, I can't tell what is a button. Oh, I think it's the snowman. The snowman's the button. Yep, the snowman's the button. Back here, look at all, you can't see maybe, all these beads. Maybe I should just shut off my light. Is this better or worse? Okay. There's all the beads. Certainly better for my headache to have it off. But there's a whole series. There's the toy shop, the country church, the post office, the train depot, and the tree farm. And I do hope to do the entire village and then display them all on a very special piece at some point. So that's the smallest of them. And then, of course, my beloved first find, my Christmas Village bow. I love it. And then there's Santa up here. So, by the way, there are some of these for sale on Etsy and on eBay. They're not cheap, generally speaking. Apparently people know that they're a good find. But at the same time, so I did order from one guy. I found one guy on Etsy. No, not Etsy. On eBay who had a good price on the one that I wanted. And also he was offering free shipping. So I was like, okay. Because that's what always gets me on eBay. Like, the price is good, but then the shipping cost on a kit is like something that I would expect to pay for glass. Like, you can't ask me to pay $20 in shipping. Just be honest about the price that you're wanting for this instead of tacking it on to the shipping cost. Okay? Okay, so the next one I have is a Dimensions Gold, the Ornaments series. And I plan on stitching this one each about my 6. I'm one of 6. So each of us will get one for the family. Then my husband swears that this is Christmassy because of the holly berries on there. I think it's more wintry, but this is by Letite Stitch. Am I saying that right? This is Frosted Dreams. There's an owl up here with some holly berry, and I just think he's so pretty. And this is full coverage, by the way, because look, this is the white Ada, And this is all of that, but I don't know. I'm hoping they give you enough. I think this is, okay, so size is 10 by 10, and this is stitched on 16 count Aida. So I think they've given me enough floss for that. All right, so this is an old one that I got for free at a garage sale. I don't know that I'm ever going to do it. I think it's been opened. I don't know. I haven't opened it myself, but it's, oh no, I didn't get this at a garage sale. I guess I got it at Goodwill. Where's the one that I got for free at a garage sale? Was that not a Christmas one? I swear it was a Christmas. Maybe this was it, but they had gotten it at Goodwill. I don't know, but it's an old one, and the packaging is yellow, and it's not yellowed with years. It's just plain yellow. But this is by Christmas Doubles. Oh, Volgard Crafts. So we've got Noel, Angel, and the Joy Angel. So, and these are super tiny. So you're supposed to do it on 14 count Aida, and it's only 4 inches around. So you could whip this up in an afternoon. Okay, we got to start a new pile. Then I got this off of eBay. This is one of the Dimensions tree skirt kits, and it's of the village with the ice rink and the Christmas tree in the middle. And it comes with the Aida fabric and all the floss. And I believe this, yeah, is it? Oh, wait. So finished size is approximately 45 inches diameter, and this is stitched on 11 count. So I'd be using at minimum 3 strands for this. But that's going to be fun. I plan on casting that on next year. And then from the Ukrainian designer, I can't say her name, so I'm just going to show it. If it won't glare. I got this plastic canvas gingerbread house in 3D, and it's so scrumptious. Comes with all the plastic, comes with all the floss, it comes with beads. I think I've shown this on here before. It comes with the felt. I think it comes with the lace that's on the roof. I'm not positive. I'll have to, and when I open it, I'll have to see. But that's that. Then also, speaking of plastic canvas, I have these cross-stitch kit with plastic canvas. So what is this called? Crafting Spark Winter Houses on plastic canvas. It comes all the floss and the canvas. And this says that it is on kit point. The plastic canvas is number 5. Or so essentially it's 14 count. And I think that's about all I need to know about that. Yeah, to tell you anyway. So, where did I get this? Is this eBay? Amazon? I'm not really sure. Not really sure. But the next ones are all things that I've had in my stash since COVID started, and I've never done any of them. And they're all wool applique, and I want to do them all. So let's start with the Thanksgiving one. This is the Penny Lane Primitives Little Pilgrims Candle Mat. And it's got all these beautiful gourds and turkey, and oh, it's just lovely. And it's 100% wool. Nothing you get from Penny Lane Primitive is anything less than quality. So 100% wool felt is in here, which is expensive, okay? But I have that in there. And so applique on this instance would be, I cut out these shapes, and then I cut out all the pieces of that, and then layer by layer I build it up by doing the blanket stitch over them. Yeah, I think all of it's blanket stitch. And then there's a tiny bit of embroidery of a vine in the very middle. These others, wait, is this felt? Oh, technically this was a cross stitch. I thought this was a felt one, so I messed up. Sorry. Going back to the cross stitch section, I have this Bucella kit of tiny stocking ornaments, set of 30. I don't know when I got this, but I know it wasn't recent. I swear it was like back in COVID time. So I don't know what I was thinking back then because I was not cross-stitching. Maybe I thought it was a wool applique back then too. That would be hilarious. But it comes with everything you need. I think what has thrown me is that this felt right here, it must be the backing to the Ada to complete the ornament. That has to be what it is. So let's see, set of 30. They're each of them 3 by 5 inches by 4 inches. You're working on 14 count Ada. You have some felt black backing, cotton floss. You've got a floss separator. I'm thinking that's this board here. Needle, trilingual instructions. And it's made in the USA, it says. Why did I always think that this company was Italian? I don't know. Okay, so my last 2 pieces are definitely felt applique. I know that. I know that. The first one is the Christmas tree. And I haven't looked at this in a long time, but I think it comes with some, if not all, of the ornaments pictured here. So on this one, what drew me to that, I'm assuming back then, is that the pattern is printed on there, so I don't have to trace anything. I can just cut it out. Oh yeah, they're all over. Like on this brown, you can't see it at all because I can barely see it, but see that gingerbread man is on there. And it's a felt Christmas tree that I can hang on the wall, kind of like a tapestry when I'm all done. So I love that. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so my house is super tiny. The only place in the house to ever put a Christmas tree is here on my fireplace. So that means that the tree has to be narrow. And I think I was having a frustrating time trying to find a narrow tree that I liked that was alive and in a pot, because my family has a tradition of having a live Christmas tree that is in a pot that comes spring, we then go out and plant instead of a cut down tree. So I think what I was planning, sometime is in COVID or something, or maybe when I was pregnant, is to make us a Christmas tree. Man, the things I forget about. Let's just make sure. Okay, that's still not good. So this is the finished size is 17 inches by 24 inches. And contents, stamped felts, cotton floss, color separator, sequence beads, 2 needles, and instructions. Nothing fancy there. Does it say when it came out? 2014. So this has been out about 11 years. All right, my last one. He's so cute and handsome. Oh my goodness. He's a stand-up Santa with the toy sack. I think I might have bought these at the same time back during COVID, and they've been in my closet ever since. Because this is also stamped felt. Oh my gosh, isn't he adorable? Look at the tree that he's holding. Oh my goodness. I just love him so much. I wonder, okay, what's the finished size? 10 inches by 20.5 inches. It's not bad. He's almost 2 feet tall. I don't know. I've been intimidated by this one, so I don't know when I will get to it. I think I want it to work because I've never done felt applique. You have just literally seen my entire stash of felt applique. So I'm going to start with this one and work my way up to the others. And I plan on doing that for this year. At least that's my plan. Okay, so those are all the kits. I think I'm going to save. I was going to show you. I don't know how long I've been recording. I was going to show you some patterns that I really liked from past years of like the world of cross stitching, just cross stitching. By the way, just cross stitching by far and away my favorite between the two. Yeah, between the two of Christmas patterns. I think I've earmarked, I mean, just to give you an idea, I earmarked that one in there. This is from 2022, December. I got a whole bunch of cross-stitch magazines, and I had no idea what I was getting. A lady just gifted them to me when I bought a kit from her on Facebook Marketplace. I guess she just asked me if I wanted them, and I said yes. And this is what came in that. And some of them, there's lots of loose pages because she's gone through and ripped out things that she's obviously wanted to stitch on. So I don't blame her. But anyway, I will either save these for later or we just won't talk about them, but because I want to get to the giveaway and let you guys get on with your day. But just know, like especially the just cross stitching, very good, very beautiful. I will say that in the cross stitch gold, these are very, very advanced stitches, projects for the most part. We're talking about, so sorry, I'm trying to get to one of them. Where is it? Yeah, so this one, which I marked that I really loved. It's of a family decorating the Christmas tree. This is worked on 28 count Zweigart Ecru even weave. There was I think this is 30 something floss colors. There's beading, there's Krynic backstitching, there's regular backstitching, which all of that together is not necessarily what makes this more in-depth or technical, but there's a lot of half stitches as well, and quarter stitches, and floating back stitches, if you will. So cross stitch gold, at least the one that I have, looks very much more advanced. I am going to go to Barnes & Noble when I get paid next week and see if the Christmas catalogs have come out yet and get some for me. All right, so lastly, let's talk about giveaways. So the first thing I want to talk about is I have a duplicate kit of a very special stitch, and that is the Gold Collection ornaments by Dimensions that are so incredibly beautiful. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I was thinking that I would get an extra kit to stitch for all the spouses as well as my siblings, but there's no need. They can each just have one, and I can give this away to somebody who would really enjoy it. So, as I mentioned before, it comes with everything you need to do this, not finishing, but stitching it. And so this is Christmas Village ornaments. So your keyword, let's put ornaments as your keyword if you would like to win this. Now, here's the key. You have to be 18 years or older. You have to be in the United States, and I mean I hate when I say this, continental United States. I think I'll include Hawaii. Yeah, I have no idea. Flat rate should go to Hawaii easy. If I choose someone who is out of the country, I will, you can find a pattern on Etsy and message me what that pattern is for up to $10 or $12. I haven't decided. I don't know. What do you guys think is fair? And I will buy that pattern for you and gift it to you because I don't want you to miss out on these giveaways, but also I am not going to ship out of country right now. Okay? So we've got two opportunities here. And that applies to all of these. If anybody from out of country wins any of the actual physical pieces, we'll substitute it with an actual pattern. And if anybody wants to donate some cross stitch to give away, let me know. Or felt pieces or anything, or doodads, let me know. I'd love to spread the wealth. Okay, so another one that I have double of is my Santa bear riding through the woods. So I have an extra one of this. So the keyword for this one will be bear, B-E-A-R. So put that in your comments. So we have ornaments and bear. And the last one is completely random. I just want to get it out of my house, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. This was obviously a gift, or I got it for free somewhere, but I just want it gone. I don't want it. Hang in there. And it's a kitten. And it's a kit. I don't like cats. well, maybe I would if I had cats, but I don't like cats. I won't. I have no interest whatsoever in stitching cats. So let's pass this on in the season of giving to somebody who likes it. So it's a small chart. So for this one, should we just put kitten or should we say hang? Hang? No, let's put kitten because I don't know that I can remember the word hang. So put kitten as your keyword if you would like to win this. And as for everybody else who does these giveaways, go ahead and use the keyword in your entire, use ornaments, bear, kitten, all in one comment. Leave 3 comments. I don't care. Enter yourself in. You got 3 chances to win. Now, if somebody did not get is out of country and did not get the kit, I will give you the option. If you would like to sponsor the payment of the postage to go to the person, to somebody else, I will allow you to re-gift the kit. Because the thing is I can't buy you a pattern for $12 and then redraw for somebody else next week and send that off in the mail. It's going to get way too expensive for me. So if you would like to sponsor it as a giveaway, if you are one of the out of the country winners, we can do that. So we'll just do Venmo or something like that. Okay? I hope that made sense. I'm so excited. This is my first giveaway. My first stitch along. My first smalls exchange. Another new stitch along. Getting into the patriotic stitching. Like it's, getting into the winter/holiday stitching now. And I'm so excited for that. Oh my gosh. So excited. Like, isn't life wonderful? All right, my dear ones. Thank you so much for joining me today, especially if you hung in there. You were rewarded because you now know what the giveaways are. Good job. And I hope that all of you are well, that you're warm and cozy, and you have a good stitch in front of you for this coming winter. Thank you, my friends. Be well. And don't forget, next week is going to be a very cool, special episode. At least in my opinion. I hope you'll agree. But in my opinion, it's going to be freaking cool. Yeah. All right. Ta-ta for now.